This really isn't the usual kind of video we make. There's a global pandemic. There's a global pandemic that you might have heard about.
The coronavirus is the biggest threat this country has faced for decades.
Over 120 countries. It's called the invisible enemy.
Our role has been entirely in support of the heroic healthcare workers on the front line.
And things right now are really weird. Every week, people go on the streets and make some noise for key workers. Streets are completely empty. Shop shelves are empty. One of the main train lines that goes into London Paddington passes behind my garden, and every train that passes is completely empty. And there's a lot of home haircuts going on at the moment. In fact, yes, I do have a bald spot. And usually on this channel, we cover what the UK Armed Forces are doing on exercises, on operations, on deployments. Usually we travel to all kinds of exciting places and we go there and film what the military's doing and explain why they're out there, what the job is. That's our series called Access, which starts next week. And we've been to some really amazing places. We've been to South Sudan, Somalia, Afghanistan. But right now there's an operation in the UK called Rescript, and that's the UK military's response to COVID-19. And we can't go and do the usual thing where we take our cameras and go and film it because we're stuck inside. So we can't talk in depth about the logistical efforts or the fact that they've been building hospitals or driving ambulances or flying ambulances or testing people for the virus. In fact, my brother's in Two Scots up in Pennycook in Scotland, and he's been part of that effort, testing people to see if they have COVID-19. So instead of doing the normal thing, I thought it might be a good chance to introduce everyone that works on this new channel and talk about how COVID-19 has affected our daily lives. We're all very lucky that the virus hasn't affected us too negatively. We've all still got jobs, clearly. None of us have lost loved ones to the virus. My partner works in an ITU, and hearing some of her stories when she comes back from work, thankfully that's the closest I have to get to any of it. But the lockdown has changed our way of life and the way that we do things. So let's see how everyone else is doing.
One of the things that has blown my mind since the world got locked down is the creativity that has flourished. In the absence of our normal routines, we've all sought new ways to express our emotions and create. For me, that release has been my bike. So whenever quarantine's getting a little bit too much, I just take 5. Shall we? As filmmakers, we want to be out with the military, making films. Now, more so than ever. But for the time being, we're grounded. Quarantine's tough for everybody, and if you live by yourself, you've just got to make your own fun. Sometimes, you've got to make your own company too.
I like getting out in the woods and trying to get as creative as I can with the lines that I choose. It's my 1 hour a day, and I try and use it as best as I can.
Oi mate, 2 meters. I can't wait to get back out into the world again, making films in exciting places with exciting people. In the meantime, we've got all the stuff we've been working hard on for the last few months, and it's almost ready to show you guys. I really hope you like it.
So having served in the Royal Navy, lockdown kind of feels similar to life on camp, except I can walk on the grass without being shouted at. It feels regimented out there, and that's what I've been used to my whole adult life. In a way, I kind of like it. Usually the team and I are jet setting all over the world, and I think within the last 12 months we've been to Somalia, Afghanistan, South Sudan, Malawi, the Falkland Islands, Estonia 4 or 5 times, and many more countries. It's been both busy but incredibly awesome. Over the years I've spent many months away from friends and family, being in the military, and this situation we're in now kind of feels similar. I do find though that I speak to my family and friends more when I'm away over FaceTime than I do when I'm generally back home here in London. And the great thing is people have time to speak to you too. What keeps me motivated now is because I don't have a commute, I've got a lot of spare capacity after work. So I spend that time volunteering for the RAF Air Cadets, where we deliver training to up to 100 of our cadets twice a week. I've also had the time to do some online courses, and the skills I've learnt there I've been able to implement on these videos that I'm working on right now.
Hi, I'm Darren Coventry. I'm a digital video producer at BFBS. I served 24 years in the Army before I attended the Forces Media Academy and retrained into the media business. During this period of COVID lockdown, I'm really lucky. I'm at a girlfriend's by the sea, really great environment to be locked up in. I've been in much worse. Lots of military deployments. Northern Ireland, I once lived underground. I've also spent quite a lot of time in small FOBs in places like Afghanistan and Iraq, where your movements and day-to-day movements are really restricted. So this is actually not too bad considering. I've been able to keep myself stimulated. I'm really lucky where I am. I've got the seaside right on the doorstep. So I've been able to get out and run most days along the coast. And then professionally, I've had the time to just stop and think and look at what skills I can develop whilst we're stuck inside. So I've been doing some online video tutorials, looking at the equipment that we've got at BFBS and looking at how we can exploit the capabilities of the cameras a lot more than we have up to now. We've got some great kit, but now we've been looking at stuff like shooting in log profiles so that in post-production it could really bring back and enhance the colours, making them look so much more professional than if we just shot them normally. As well as working on developing my skills, I've also had quite a lot of work to do. The last few weeks I've been working on loads of editing, loads of graphics, creating stuff for the MOD Defence Connect project, some stuff around fake news, and the last thing that I've been working on is the new team promo video, bringing in all the series that everyone in the team's working on, putting them in one place so that we can highlight what's coming up this summer.
It's been mad actually. I feel like we've been busier than ever. As a team, we're used to working in strange locations and adapting to those weird places. So we've been in pretty high demand because this is weird for everyone at the moment. Working from home is a strange location. So people have been coming to us for help with their video work, whether that's the Army, the Ministry of Defence or the RAF. We've been helping all of them with their content, as well as trying to launch this channel for you guys. So shall we go and take a look at the creative space I've been working out of? So like everyone, I've had to adapt my home so that me and my girlfriend can live and work here without killing each other. But my girlfriend's actually helped with my office and helped create this little sign where it says when I'm out or in the office. We're now in, so we'll change that. And here's the space, here's the office, or should I say the old spare room, but it does the job. I can work from here, but video calls are quite difficult because as soon as I sit in front of this window my face becomes dark and I look like a Dark Lord, but it does the job, and as I said, we are used to adapting to working in such difficult circumstances. So proud of the team and how they've continued to make incredible content at this difficult time, both for the people that have come to us for help and for you guys in this channel. I feel really lucky to have them, and we've even had someone new start, and I can't even begin to imagine what it's like to start a new job at this time. So Amy, what has it been like?
Starting a new job is exciting, but it can also be a little bit scary. The first day is filled with moments like going to the offices for the first time, meeting your new colleagues and maybe just having a cup of tea with them. It would have been fun to see all of the equipment and try some things out. But my first day of joining the productions team at BFBS was a little bit different because my first day was during the lockdown. I was actually looking online this morning to see if anyone else was in the same situation as me. I typed in starting a job during a pandemic, which funny enough wasn't one of the suggested searches. Most of the videos were how to job search during a coronavirus pandemic, how to get a job during COVID-19, expert advice, So lots of different videos about how to find a job, but nobody has posted a video about starting one during this pandemic. As unusual as this situation is, it turns out my dad also started his new job last week.
To date, I've met 2 people. One of them in an illicit exchange of laptops in a car park in Littlehampton, another one in the bench by the docks in Portsmouth. I've not shook hands with either of them. I've only met them from a distance, and we've exchanged a few words. Quite a surreal experience, really.
It's been a different experience starting a job but not actually leaving the house. Like all my colleagues at BFBS, I've had to move furniture around and make space for an office. At the moment, my office is literally just next to my bed. One of the benefits of talking to people on video chat has been that their names are written beneath them. So far, I haven't forgotten anybody's names.
So now that we've all been introduced, here's a look at what we've got coming up, and it all starts next week.
BFBS launches its new YouTube channel, hosting 4 great series this summer. We're focused on telling military stories that you won't want to miss. Returning for a new season in a new home, Intel, stories surrounding military engineering and technology. This season, Simon takes an in-depth look at the development of the F-35. You'll also get to see more of the very successful Access, continuing to provide an exclusive view behind the scenes of military deployments around the world. New this summer is Negatives. You might have seen some of these iconic photos before, but we're going to examine them in more detail and unravel their hidden secrets. And finally, we're bringing you Barmy. In this observational documentary, Joe Cowan visits military enthusiasts who've taken their obsessions to the next level and examines what makes them tick. Make sure you don't miss out, subscribe to this new channel and tap the bell.
That's our team and a look at what we have coming up. Next week, our first new episode of Access is a visit I made to South Sudan a couple of months ago. It's the world's youngest country. And when I went, they were hoping to start a new chapter after decades of civil war.